Okay, so
We can start.
okay, we can start, and then maybe later on, as we progress, they can just follow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so first let me welcome everyone to our AMA for today. So hi everyone, hi crypto astronaut community, welcome back to another Finance Live AMA. And today guys, we will be getting to know more about once again waterfall. And today's AMA guys is gonna be focused on the non-technical things about waterfall. So for today guys, we'll be joined by some of the members of the association. We have Mr. Ron, and we have two more person joining us for today. And most importantly, we are joined by once again Mr. Sergey, which I know most of you know very well. So once again, guys, hello Mr. Ron, hello Mr. Sergey, welcome to Crypto Astronaut.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah. Hello, Caitlin. Hello, everyone. Happy to be here.
Okay, thank you very much, guys, for being here. So, Mr. Ron and Mr. Sergey, first, let's take a moment to to introduce yourself, guys, to our community. So, once again, can you guys maybe start with a quick introduction about yourselves?
Okay. So Ron Resnick, I come out of the enterprise side of things. I spent a number of years at Intel launching their telecom business, so I have a good understanding globally of interoperability, how you scale. So, and one of the things I was involved in is 4G. So you can see now it works compared to 3G. So I was involved with that, and then left and was recruited to join the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance and launch it. So I launched the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance and grew that. And then there's some shortcomings on how Ethereum can really scale and deliver decentralization. So about a year and a half ago, I joined Sergey. So I'm the CEO of Blue Wave, and we're the developer of the Waterfall protocol, and been involved with that since. When I was at Intel Capital also as an investment director.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ron, for that. So let's hear from Mr. Sergey. And by the way, guys, sorry for the wrong introduction. Sorry, we're on Blockchain Express community. I didn't know at first. Okay, I just knew now. So very
Yep.
sorry, guys. But Mr. Sergey, let's hear from you. This
Uh,
introduction is very perfect, right? Because yeah.
well, yeah, thank you. So my name is Sergey Gribnyak. I hold a PhD in computer science. I work in software development for 18 years. Basically, uh, I was I have long and extensive background of developing different web, mobile, basically Web 2 applications. I used to join the release own products and also joined the companies as a technical co-founder. And one of these company was acquired by one of the top 10 banks in the United States. It was fintech, but not not Web3. It is Web2. Uh, and basically, my blockchain journey started in 2017. Me and my team was developers of one of the first layer 2 solutions for Ethereum, and in particular, to our best knowledge, our GitHub repository with Plasma Cache, which was a popular at that time, was actually first GitHub was working prototype at that time. So all my during the entire journey of in distributed ledger technologies, I was working as a builder, basically researcher, and the builder during in Ethereum inspired ecosystems. So basically, yeah, I was thinking that EVM will be the standard back in the days, and it has become a standard because more than like 90% of the dApps, I think, to some sources is actually Ethereum based. And later on, but again, this kind of layer 2 vision was, on our opinion, was not like a transition from 0 to 1, And I started my PhD with the topic of scalability and focused it on directed acyclic graphs. And I was an author of initial idea of waterfall, which is currently, of course, not only I'm the contributor, I'm a head of research. So it is a result of work of our internal of our entire research and development department. And yeah, basically, and also I hold multiple positions at IEEE, and I advise one of the governments to their digital strategy and with an angle of Web3, which is my area of expertise. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sergey. So, Mr. Brad joined us for today. Hi, Mr. Brad. Welcome to Blockchain Express. So, can you hear us? And do you mind introducing yourself to our community as well?
Yeah, hello. This is Brad. I'm the investor relationship of the Waterfall DAO Association. I'm in charge of all the listing activities of the Waterfall. So, and also in the future, all the token distribution issue. If you have any questions, please ask me. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brad. Once again, nice meeting you as well. So, guys, thank you very much for introducing yourselves, and it's nice to know about you guys and what you guys do, your background experiences. Thank you very much, guys, for that. So now let's get into the questions for our Amy for today. So my first question for you guys is, can you tell us about the journey of Waterfall Network so far and what led to the decision to launch the mainnet?
Okay, so I'll start at the high level, and I shared a little bit already that we all pretty. It's a small, I'd say, ecosystem. So a lot of folks know other folks, and so I got to be introduced to Sergey. But what Sergey just on his own and what I did on my own and many others, we still don't have a really good model for having the community who really is committed to do something better for the world and to really solve problems that printing money doesn't solve and and so Sergey on his own came up with this whole concept and then got involved that he should build something that can help the developers achieve that objective. And that's really what we're about. We're all about giving some more tools to help developers do whatever they want to do. And we'll talk more about that. So the journey took a while. It's been going on for 3 years with many developers. A lot of the developers are from Ukraine, which is real interesting. They're still working remotely in many different areas, but they don't meet in one location anymore. And then some of us, I'm here in the United States, and then Brad, he's in Shanghai. So we're global, and we'll talk a little bit more about what we're trying to do with infrastructure providers so that we can reach all the developers around the world. And so that's the journey. It's been a long one. We ended up building. We've had 8 test nets, and over a period of years, not everybody has that.
Already 9.
All right, so thank you. 9. I didn't want to hear 9. We're on a main net. So anyway, 8's plenty. So we have enough test nets to satisfy everyone that we're committed to do the right things, to build the best tools for developers to do what they want to do. So it's been a long journey technically, and we didn't focus on just hype. And so all the money that was raised, that we received to develop, all of it went to building something that really works. And so finally we're at this point whereby, and that's where Brad comes in, where we're on the mainnet, and then there'll be the the waterfall protocol will be launched on exchanges that he can talk about that because I'm not involved in that side of things. And so the decision to launch the mainnet, that was a big decision because some of us thought, oh, should we wait? Should we get it? When's the right time? And the bottom line is, and everybody debates bull and bear markets, that doesn't matter to us. We feel that we should build something and get it out beyond the scope of the market thinking. We want to build something that developers can really use. So the decision's made. Forget that. We're going to go ahead and launch the mainnet, which we just did. And so that's it from on my side. I don't know if Sergey has anything more to add.
Well, not as much left to add, as always. Speaking to you, but yeah, we can say that we believe that that is a good the good practice, for example, which is advised by many like Y Combinator, many former successful startup founders, different incubation, acceleration, people who knows how to build products. And basically the earlier you start talking with your clients and the earlier you start interacting with your clients, the better it is. So obviously we were in touch with our community, with our potential clients from initially from the beginning, but we would like for people to finally start using it. There is a functionality shift. This functionality is available. People are able to deploy the dApps. People are able to utilize the network. They are able to contribute to security of the network. And yeah, it's we basically, our launch is not basically, when we were talking about it, we should not be focusing on like hype or not hype. We should be focusing on users, and the earlier users are able to start using the technology, the better it is. And this is how we made this decision. Yeah, thank you for the great question.
Yeah, and I have to say something about the users that just Sergey mentioned. Normally, we have two types of users. The first type user is the infrastructure provider in the Web3. Normally, it needs a very technical guy or the geek that can join the infrastructure building. So we have a lot of people that tell us it is pretty very hard to join the Web3 and run a node. So this is our first priority, to make it as easy as possible to make everyone who want to be a part of the Web3 infrastructure. You can just download our application and run one click, and you can be the part of the Web3. This is the type one of the user. And the second type of the user is for the end user that normally we use many dApps, and the reaction or the UI UX is pretty slow because of the low transaction volume or the TPS. So normally you do a transaction, you have to wait 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, even 10 minutes to see the transaction completion. So we decide to have a super high performance that based on our study, at least 10,000 TPS is the baseline of a user-friendly blockchain of the dApps. So this is what we want to work for the end users. Yeah. So we work on both sides. No, the infrastructure, no provider users, and the end dApp users. This is what we're working for.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ron, Mr. Sergey, and Mr. Brad for that. Once again, that's a very interesting journey, and we really see how much effort you guys have inserted in order to make this the mainnet launch very successful. Thank you so much, guys. So now that we know something about how you guys successfully did it, I mean launching the mainnet. My next question for you guys is: what are the immediate priorities for Waterfall Network post a mainnet launch? And Are there any plans for like exchange listing soon?
Maybe Sergey, you can answer that.
Ron, you are muted.
Sorry, I was on mute. Okay. So there's multiple priorities, but at the end of the day, the most important purpose of what we're trying to do is community awareness. And so in order for us to be successful, we need to get the word out. So one of our priorities have been to establish partnerships with infrastructure providers so that the community can have options about how they can, where they can place their nodes on infrastructure. And we have a number, we can talk about that later, of already signed agreements where all around the world, if somebody wants to set up a node, they don't have to just do it on their own. They can actually use independent infrastructure providers to do that. So that's one of our top priorities, to make sure that that works well, because all of those guys have to ensure that the technical work that they need to do is done properly. So we've been really busy now, but I'm sure we're going to be very busy afterward, as we hope the community really jumps on that. In addition, we have some other plans we used Hacken for our security audit. And so we're going to be working with Hacken for any kind of bug tracking. So, everybody launches stuff. The most important thing is that we want to know if we have a bug. So we'll have some programs for rewards or bounties. If anybody finds a bug, and we encourage you to find one, go do it, because we want to make sure it all works. So he's smiling, but he may not if he doesn't like it, if it's a lot of work for him to fix it. Anyway, so that's a big project once we get launched and we get lots of comments. So we're going to make it real easy for somebody to communicate back with us. But we felt having Hacken and an independent auditor builds more trust in what we're doing. So we're all about honesty and trust about our purpose. So that's going to keep us really busy post mainnet. And then with regard to encouraging the dApp developers, which there's a lot of stuff for us to do. With regard to exchange listings, I have zero to do with that. That's up to Brad. So knock yourself out, Brad. You can talk about that.
Yeah. So I actually, again, not as much left after on, and then I will pass over to Brad. Basically, the plans are as follows. We are at some time after the public launch, we are going to undergo secondary security audit. Then there will be bug bounty probably conducted on Hacken or other compliant platform for this type of activities. And then we are going to make code open source. Also, right after the launch, we are going to, again, continue the research according to our roadmap. Because, again, many things which are described there in our plans, some are already developed, and the main functionality is present. So you are able to use the network the way it is supposed to be used. You can deploy smart contracts, you can, build apps, etc. Participate in the security. Second thing, certain things are proven like theoretically, like they have a priori proofs. Certain things are based on the concept. So we are going to further expand this, so obtain a priori proofs of what is described on the level of concepts. We are then going to develop it. So there are, of course, always present some certain risks that certain things may work not exactly as developed, or something may change. Something may change based on some new information we discover. Something may change on the market response. Something may change on different other conditions which we may not be aware of. but with all the responsibility from all our research and development department, I can say that we are not aware of any issues which can prevent us from delivering the future functionality of the technology which we are developing. But technology is already able to use, so use it the way it is, and we will do our best to make the experience, you know, um, as good as possible. Thank you, and yeah, passing it over to Brett.
Yeah. Uh, I think Sergey's expression is more like to say one thing, that Waterfall want to be the global infrastructure that can benefit the developers and also the app users. This is from the day one that Sergey hope to build a global infrastructure network that can help everyone to facilitate their uh, best efforts. So for our exchange side, it is also our way to do the listing. How do I say that? Because uh, most project they do the listing, they just want to absorb the liquidity and help the price going up. But for us, not that. The exchange listing is a way to let many people to know about waterfall, and later we will have a lot of offline event with these exchanges that can bring out more users to join our community and be the part of our network. About 2 weeks ago, we have a significant project that we work with the Google Cloud, that we have been achieved 1.57 million node validators, which was the largest uh, POS network in the world ever. So there's never been a network have been a 1.5 million users or validators in the history. So this is what we try. And during that test, our node has been across all globally, from the North America, Mid Mid American, and the Southern America, also the India and Europe and Africa. It's a global infrastructure, and we have tested for several days, and it was very successfully. This is what we would like to build for the people and the human. And this is what Google, their expectation that we work together. This is what we see. So we hope in the next maybe 12 to 24 months, we will be listed to more exchanges, and more people will know us and join our community. This is what we expected.
Well, I have to jump in to avoid any confusion. The test was for technology, so it wasn't like 1.5 million different users. We tested that technology is able to accommodate more than 1.5 million validators. So basically, but yeah, this is a unique event, and so far, to our best knowledge, no other technology was ever tested on this scale, and we're going to increase it further. Oh yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for that, guys, once again. And thank you so much for the clarification as well, Mr. Sergey. And once again, it's nice to know that you guys are still doing all the efforts that it needs in order to maintain and, of course, to make, all the things that you have to do in order to sustain the mainnet itself. So thank you so much for that. That is very amazing to know. So another question that I have for you guys. So basically, I believe that it is not enough to just identify your target users or your target market, right? So I believe that it's also important for you guys to have some strategies in order to to reach them. So my next question for you guys is, what strategies does Waterfall Network have in place that is aimed to foster adoption among the users that you guys are targeting, like enterprises and the developers as well?
Okay, so that was my job at EA, Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, the first word, right? and it didn't work that well because we really need to be able to deliver scalability and interoperability. And I helped them build an architecture stack so that we can consolidate all the different uh, I'd say building blocks that were competing even in the world of Ethereum up higher up in the stack. So, and there are other issues. So what we need to do is we need to do a couple other things which are in the works. Some will be announced in the future. We feel we need to just not create our own, eat our own dog food and create our own association that only benefits us. So we have some plans to make this more open using the open source code that Sergey is saying once we finish the second security audit. And so we have some plans that will build, again, more trust in our baseline protocol such that anybody who wants to participate and add to it, whether regardless who they are, where they come from, and whether they think they shouldn't be thinking of things of others are competitors. They should figure out how to unify the ecosystem. That is the only way enterprise is going to be interested, and that's why they haven't been. So that's our strategy. We think that there'll be, if all goes according to our plan, we should have some very good announcements over the next 3 to 6 months. Post the launch, whereby we'll invite folks, whoever they are, to go ahead and contribute and add to the work that's already been done by the Blue Wave developers. And so that it's not just us, it's everyone, and everybody benefits. So that's the plan. In the meanwhile, for example, my background is enterprise. We're already talking to enterprise candidates, whereby and this is the challenge, as we all know, the whole notion of Web3 is in a certain way anti-enterprise, because there's a lot of folks who don't like the fact that there could be a central repository or big corporate Goliaths controlling. So in my experience, I've seen that some of these companies, and I've been at DEF CONs with Ethereum, I've been at enough events where they've attended. They're doing their best job, some of them, to try to recognize if they want to be relevant in the future. They need to also build capabilities for the decentralized world to do what they want to do. So that's another aspect of what we'll be involved in, is in working with those companies who have honest vision about what they want to do. Because at the end of the day, the centralized solutions are not gone away. Web 2 isn't going to disappear. And so now you're going to have Web 2, Web 3, and I see hybrid solutions emerging. So we have a good strategy and roadmap to get us whereby we hope the community will be happy what we'll be doing to encourage dApps to be built in partnership with big enterprise. And of course, you have small enterprises just as well. And that should be a great opportunity for peer-to-peer solutions via a distributed ledger.
Thank you very much, Sir Ron, for that. Once again, that is very amazing to know. So now, from the previous answers you provided us, of course, now we know on Blockchain Experts Committee that you guys are really building something very fantastic and something very, very impressive in the space. So now my question for you guys, behind this very amazing project you're building, let's talk about the team that works with you guys as well. Behind Waterfall Network. So maybe you can introduce the team on their behalf. Maybe you can tell us something about your team members and about their experiences as well, and their expertise in the blockchain space, or even the tech industries.
Sure. So, well, I've already introduced myself, and so has Sergey. Brad has extensive background in, and he lives in Shanghai, which is great because we're all about everybody participating. And so Brad has got a lot of experience working with in the crypto blockchain space. We have some other members. Sergey, you can. We have Richard Wang, who is the chairman of the Swiss Association. He's with Draper Dragon Funds, and and then we also have a person named Jeff McDonald, who launched the whole community for NEM. And so Jeff is helping us on strategy, community strategy. And so he couldn't be on the call. He's in Korea right now. And then Michael Turpin is also our evangelist, and he's initially, right now he has formed a new venture called Tokenize. He's all over the world, is invested in countless startups in our space, and he also has through Michael, we have our public relations firm, Transform Ventures. So what we believe is we have actually, we've lost count of how many advisors how many people want to be advisors of what we're doing. And so we're being very selective on future advisors, and they need to really contribute. So in addition to the core team, and this is through Sergey and his team, we have at least 15, a large number of super smart, technical PhD level and all areas of expertise is the heart of what we've built. We're all contributing to making it happen, but the reason why it's so great is Sergey, under his leadership and working with the team, and I've had the pleasure to see them, and they've been on other AMA calls where it's technical, and I'm seeing what we're doing working with the infrastructure guys right now. So the key players are the R&D team that are going to continue to do work to support the open source code that will be launched. And meanwhile, these are the guys who are really making it happen.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ron, for that. Once again, it's nice to know the entire family of Waterfall Network, and what you guys are building is something very impressive. So thank you so much for mentioning them on this AMA as well. So my next question for this AMA, guys, is I believe this question is for Mr. Brad. So, Mr. Brad, my question is, with the upcoming exchange listings that you've talked about earlier, can you tell us what are the plans of Waterfall Network to increase liquidity and attract new participants as well to the ecosystem?
Yeah, sure. Uh, uh, Currently, we will be listing in the gate in a very short time. And later, we have been working with several exchanges about top 20 that we will be listing these top 20 exchanges in the next few months. For our listing strategy, that we do not expect to list in all the top tier exchanges in day one, because based on our observation and recent several projects, if you listed on the top exchange at day one, all the liquidity come in, and that it might be the all-time high of the day one. We have been observing many projects that have the wrong liquidation and the listing strategy that have been they have been done. So our listing strategy will be the gradually. It is the natural. We prefer organic growth, that we might be listing a exchange every month. So maybe after 12 or 24 months, we will be listing in 20 exchanges, and later the liquidation will be joined gradually, and more community users will be joined, because it takes time to let people to really understand what the value Waterfall provided, and then we hope them to become our community users, and also we hope them to become our node validators. This is what our value proposition, which is very different from other layer one or layer two solutions. We hope the community can be grow steady and sustain for a long time. This is a long time project. We don't hope um, or we don't prefer some projects that just listed and then pump and dump. This is not our way. Maybe someone they do not have the faith in the Web3. They think it's a gamble or they just doing some meme coins and pump and dump and take their money away. But we do have belief in the Web3 and crypto. And all of our teams, we are a long-term value trust. So this is what we want to work with different and several exchanges, and also to be very luck. Many exchanges they think we have shared the same value that we can sustain for a long time. Maybe you can observe during the past few years, only the good projects can survive during the bear cycle and also the bull cycle after 5, 6, 7 years. This is what we expect because we know there's always a bear cycle and the bullish cycle years, but 90% of the projects failed in the cycles. So this is what we hope, and this is what we want to work with the exchanges. We share the same long-term value. That is it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brad, for that. Once again, it's very nice to be enlightened about that part. So, okay, now moving on to our next question, guys. So, since, rooting back, ever since the beginning, we have known that the waterfall network is aiming to solve a trilemma, right? So, most importantly, scalability. So, my next question for you guys is, how does waterfall network aim to address scalability and transaction speed issues that are often associated with blockchain networks, which I think Mr. Brad mentioned and Mr. Sergey mentioned about this already since earlier, but still, can you expound better on that?
Yeah, sure. This is my question. So again, this is not technical AMA, so I will try to make it as high level as possible. So long story short, the uniqueness of waterfall is a combination of scalability and decentralization. Because generally speaking, this kind of impossible trilemma, well, we cannot say that we're solving it, because the reality is that we are kind of pushing boundaries further, because trilemma is not strictly defined. It's not like, you have 1 million validators and it is solved. And if you have, for example, 900,000 validators, it is not solved. So basically, we're pushing the boundaries by the combination. And the main trade-off is happening between scalability and decentralization, because security is kind of a must. So obviously there are different approaches to this for it to be probabilistic or deterministic. And by the way, we're combining the both, and more details are explained in our technical AMAs. But the main trade-off is happening between scalability and decentralization, and we are pushing already and aiming to push it even further by potentially creating the initial narrative of the DAGs, like in the early days, was the more decentralized it is becoming, the more scalable it is becoming. So this is what essentially we are aiming to build. And the longer vision of this was present in our pretty popular Medium article, and probably it would be great if you can post it after this video so people can get familiar with our view and this roadmap which we described. And this is the direction where we're going. So, and we do believe that decentralization is important. The task is to, some people are saying, decentralization is not that important. Let's care about scalability. Let's care about, privacy. Let's care about whatever other things. And, Web 2 doesn't have problems with scalability, with privacy, and with everything. So the decentralization is what makes Web3 a Web3. So that's what we're doing. We need to understand that with the when we are talking about highly decentralized environments, there is a trade-off on the transaction finality. Because if you have, let's say, I don't know, 3 servers running the transactions between themselves, they just faster exchange messages, and basically they reach the consensus faster. So the higher decentralization, it is again, it is pushing, it is making finality a little bit slower, but still we are cautious and optimistic in achieving the finality on the range where it is where it is good enough for mass adoption. And combined with other functionality, we do believe that Waterfall can be a good match for mass adoption. Thank you for this good question.
And thank you, Mr. Sergey, for that wonderful answer you provided us with. Once again, guys, know more, of course, about the technical parts of Waterfall Network. They have a medium wherein it would help you guys to know more about their technology, and everything about Waterfall Network is in there, guys. So we will be sharing the link to the Blockchain Express Telegram community for you guys to check it out as well. If you guys missed the technical AMAs. Thank you so much, Sergey, once again for that. So now another question that I wanted to ask you guys is, so basically with the big happening or the big event of the mainnet, so this question is a very important thing to emphasize in our AME, okay? So the question is, can you tell us or can you identify to us what are some of the real world use cases or applications that users can benefit from when using Waterfall Network?
Okay, so I have a bunch of them. So anyway, and this is why the developers really like to think about what they can do to make all aspects in different categories of operations more efficient. So once, for example, supply chain management, that dApps can track the provenance of goods. They can ensure the transparency. They can reduce fraud in supply chains. Another is real estate, for example. So they can do property transactions and title transfers and land registry management, and fractional ownership is growing and growing with regard to blockchain. Another, which I hope they do, is healthcare. I'm a big proponent. I can't wait for this to happen, where you have decentralized health records. In addition, like proprietary peer-to-peer telemedicine platforms for people to go back and forth and collaboration. Another is energy trading. For example, there's work being done where it'll be interesting to see what happens in power grid management, where you don't feel like somebody's observing you completely. Looks like we have 15 minutes. All right, so I can go on content distribution, of course, grants and charity donations, which is transparent, intellectual property rights. We can manage much better copyrights, patents, licensing, and market prediction, and privacy for sure is huge. Users can now control their own data and privacy. And we feel there's a big opportunity, which we'll be pursuing, is the integration of AI with what we're doing. So we have lots of plans to figure out how to use AI to improve this whole notion. That's down the road.
Oh, there we go. I cannot unmute my microphone just now, but thank you very much, Mr. Ron, for that. Once again, that is a very important thing to know as well for our listeners right now who are basically interested in joining the mainnet as well. So now, guys, since all throughout this AMA, we've been talking about the mainnet launch, about the exchange listings, okay? So my next question for you guys, this is a very interesting topic to discuss, to be honest. So how does Waterfall Network plan to leverage its mainnet launch and the exchange listings in order to attract institutional investors and traditional finance into the ecosystem of Waterfall?
Well, I will probably start with more general response because we are not involved in the association side and this listing and all these type of things, and Brad will help me. So we, in general, when we're talking about Waterfall, we would like to eliminate the term investors because what we encourage is actually to use the coins for its utility. So basically, you are comfortable with the users are comfortable with the network, but the way it is, they're taking these coins, they either contribute to security, they either deploy dApps, they either use somebody else's dApps, and this is what we encourage. Now, when we're talking about institutions, so there could be, of course, the case where let's say some enterprise, right, decides to write something into Waterfall network on mainnet. And there are multiple cases why it can be possible. I will not go deep into this because we don't have much time left, but if needed on the technical AMAs, we can address it in more details. So for example, this institution decided to write this data. Then they may want to set up the node to do it faster through their own node, and so the process goes smooth. For example, this data may be very important to them, and they are actually putting a lot of, basically a lot depends on this record. So, for example, this institution may decide to additionally contribute to security of the network. So they, for example, can acquire the coins from somewhere, and then they may want to deploy a number of validators. So for them to do it in a convenient way, we are partnering with already like a sizable numbers of infrastructure providers. So first of all, our technology, again, we are a member of a Google Cloud Web3 startup program. Also, our technology was tested on Amazon, DigitalOcean, and Hetzner, which are well-known companies for general cloud staking providers. Also, secondly, we have agreements with multiple trusted staking infrastructure providers, such as basically there is a longer list of them, but basically we recently signed Instones. There is a Stardust, there is Liquify, there is Core Nodes, there is, well, I'm forgetting about. One second, I'm forgetting this good company, but again, you can go and check them on our website, and there is a longer number of these providers, so which institutions can use, and obviously also there is a convenient way to, for example, they can set up servers in their offices or in their locations, and they can set up their nodes there. So we encourage everyone, and it relates not only to institutions but to everyone, to if you are engaging with the network, engage from the utilization purposes. And there are many convenient ways how you can do it, no matter whether it is an institution or a private user. Thank you.
Thank you very much as well, Mr. Sergey, for that. So now, over to our next question. Hold on, let me check. I think we have less than 10 minutes left, but that's totally okay, since we only have two questions left for this AMA. So now on to our next question. So guys, can you provide us some insights about about the future plans of Waterfall Network? What are the things that are coming up, like new features or upgrades, or some things or developments that the users can expect in the future? I mean, maybe you can outline your roadmap as well.
Yeah, sure. That's on me. And by the way, I recall the name of another provider, which I was forgetting. The name is GigaStake. So yeah, but you can find all of them, and the list is increasing. So the roadmap going forward, we are actually. So we are working on the concept of on expanding the concept of virtually unlimited sharding. We are also expanding the concepts of subnetwork. All of these concepts, they actually they are connected to the concept of parallel processing. So parallel processing is the one of the target area where our research department is focused on. Also, as a separate part, we are working on the next phase of the light clients, with basically the clients for portable devices, such as smartphones. So basically, this is what is happening on the research side. On the development side, we are polishing the network, and we are going to start implementing the functionality going forward. So right now, our job is actually to first enable these convenience levels like infrastructure providers, bootstrapping the ecosystem, so creating everything which is needed for developers and for users to be comfortable with interacting with Waterfall. Also, our job is to gather the empirical data of the network utilization to support the research department. Okay, because yeah, we were like 3 years in. Almost 3 years in the test net, but still, one thing when you are kind of imitating this, and another thing when users are already working on this. So this is what is happening on the development side, and there is a future roadmap for the development side, which we shared already on the previous technical AMAs, and we are going to keep community updated. So please follow us on our community channels, and we are happy to share as much details as needed and go as deep as as deep as community is willing us to go. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much as well, Mr. Sergey, for that. So, Blockchain Express community, to help you guys with all the links that are related to Waterfall Network, we already shared all of the links over to the Blockchain Express announcement channel on Telegram and even on the Telegram community chat as well. So, everything is in there, guys. So, if you have questions or some things that you need help with, you can consult with a team over directly to their Telegram community, maybe, or over to their Discord community as well. And also, guys, to stay updated, please follow them on their official Twitter account. And most importantly, guys, do your own research by giving their official website a visit. So basically, on the website, guys, you'll be able to see all the detailed information about Waterfall. However, they have a Medium account as well, wherein it's not shared already onto our community, but I'll be getting the link from Mr. Sergi for that, so you guys can see, maybe learn more about the technical parts of Waterfall Network. Thank you very much once again, Mr. Sergi, for that.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. Sorry, but we cannot hear you.
Yeah, sorry for that. But okay, guys, now on to our last question, and just to wrap up our aiming for today. So I know for sure, like you guys mentioned, ever since the beginning, you guys still have lots of plans, lots of things to do in the future. So now on to to make the network more sustainable. My next question and the last question, guys, is what strategies is Waterfall Network have in place to support the developers and encourage them to build more decentralized applications, or what we call dApps, on your platform? Oh, I think you're muted, Mr.
So
Ron.
no, I muted. So we already covered, I'd say, that topic, and so I think we're good. The main point is that once we're launched, all the tools, the source code, we're doing everything to make sure they have what they need to build dApps that work for them. We're just a tool. We're really not the solution. They are. And the community just has to believe that they can trust building on what we've provided as the tool. We will have, as we grow, and this is why what Brad's doing through the Swiss Association is so important. Basically, hopefully, those guys over there will be able to offer grants for great projects, and also whatever is a technical suggestion for improving what's already been there. We hope the community becomes part of the developer side of things, and they enhance. And I've seen that happen a bit in Ethereum, even with all the ERC different efforts there. I just saw over the last 3 years lots of contributions being made. A lot of them didn't pan out because they really needs to get community behind it. So, and if it's just down to a few people, then it doesn't happen. So we'll try to do all we can to grow that. So I think we've covered everything.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ron, for that. So I believe that is all the questions that we have. So we have less than 5 minutes to wrap up our AMA. But once again, thank you so much, Mr. Sergey, Mr. Ron, and Mr. Brad, for all of the enlightening answers you provided us with in connection with the future plans of Waterfall, about the mainnet, and about the exchange listings as well. Thank you so much, guys, for covering everything for us. And do you guys have any other thing that you would want to leave our community with before we officially end the AMA?
No, I think we're good.
Well,
Wonderful.
yeah, not as much left to say. We're excited that the launch is coming. It is less than a week from now, so keep an eye on the updates, and there will be multiple interesting announcements before that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And I have one word just for everyone, for you and all the community and all the audience today. May the water be with you.
Okay, he watches Star Wars, so we know that.
Thank you so much, guys. And Mr. Brad, that's a really great way to end our AMA. So thank you very much, guys. And once again, I'm very sorry for my kind of like hoarse voice right now. I just done writing a 6 hour exams, and I just came home from a 6 hour trip. So very sorry, guys, but still, it's a pleasure to host you guys today. Thank you so much once again.
Okay, you're welcome.
Oh.
Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you are doing great. Thank you.
Have a very great day, guys, and speak to you guys once again soon. Bye bye.